Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. As they say in Liverpool, how are we doing? Hey, Badir, how are you? Alexander? Hey, Joe. Good morning, Lonigan. How are you? Good to see you all. Ian, how are you, sir? Jerry, what's up, man? How you doing? You must be busy. I haven't heard from you this week. You must be having a busy week. Hey, Moran, how are you? I kind of figured. I didn't, I didn't see any charts or anything from you, so I was like, he's got to be busy. I think people are going to be pretty busy going into the end of the year here. And boy, oh boy, I tell you, it's this market. It just keeps going higher. I want to take a look at the daily chart here, and yeah, I've been watching this 6807 level because there's been a seller that how I had that 6854 level. There was a seller at 6807. We broke above it, came back, stopped there again, sold off. Now it's acting as support. So that's on a daily, on a daily chart. That's the level that you really want to break. The problem is now we're starting to get into this area where if we start creeping up here, I mean, we're at all-time highs again. And, same on the weekly. There's really not much overhang. And what I mean by overhang is I mean overhanging supply. And we don't really have a lot of overhanging supply in this market. If we go to these, sort of the TPO chart, you can see there are sellers up here at 6,900 and sellers at 69. What level is this? There'll be sellers at 69.11, 68.94, 69.11, and then the old all-time high. Hey Raj, how are you? You're not on the road this morning. Oh, I hope you're feeling better. I know I thought that. I think that flu is like going through the UK and Europe like crazy. So the curse of Raj continues. Right, Raj, you've cursed this market and it keeps going up. Ugh. So our overnight inventory is pretty long. Again, you have the flu too? Okay. I think everyone's got the flu. Um, I'm kind of getting over it. And what's our high today? 84. I've got a level at 84 and a quarter. I'm sure that looks like a poor high. If we were to open here, we would open on a gap. So now we have been opening, doing this running it up at the end of the day, and then up again at night. I want you to look at the lows. The lows have been getting higher, haven't they? You got COVID, Rasto? Oh my God. I hope you start feeling better. So, how do we trade this? How do we manage our expectations? Yeah, we got a poor high. We got a poor high, a double top, right where the overnight stops. There's stops here and here. So let's see if you are shorting this, right? And I will always say if you're short because my balance zones, I don't know how good they are tonight. We'll see. If you're shorting this and you are doing sort of a look above and fail of 68.83, you'd be selling this area here, and your stop would be just here at 84.85. There's no reason to spend a whole lot of money on a short. Um, you'll hear me say that a lot. There are times when you want to spend money on a stop, and then there are times where it's just absolutely not necessary. So this market, how do we tell when we should short this thing? Right? How do we know when we should be shorting this market? Right? Everyone's obsessed with shorting. That's why I talk about it, because a lot of people end up shorting at the wrong time, right? When you, it's okay to do hit and run shorts, Lonigan. It's okay, you know, but it's how much money do you like? See, a short is a business venture, right? So say you were short 83, right? So say if we were short 83 and our stop was here, well, we'd be looking for this 79 area, right? Just here for a cover. So it's not a huge amount of money that we're looking at, right? It's not a great gain. Now, larger traders, what you're doing is you want this area here to break. Like a larger trader will want 79 to break. Why would you want 79 to break? Let's look at this. Well, because half an hour, 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So 3 hours have been spent over 79. So over a 3 hour period, anyone who's long here will have their stop here. The longer you spend over a level, the more people will pile up and put their stop. Think of a stop as a parking lot, okay? The more people, like the longer we stay over 79, more people will put their stops here and be going long. So when that happens, when that level breaks, you get a lot more liquidation. Does that make sense? I'll be putting out that time frame video this weekend. And we'll try and do an execution lab today at 11. I'm sniffling a lot, so that's kind of tentative. Hopefully, uh, this flu is pretty brutal. Oh, it's just stalled out again. So my balance was 62 to 69. I just used this and this, these highs and these lows. Dave, it's okay, brother. If I do one, it'll be taped. We'll record it. Don't worry. It's a slow night, my friends. It's a slow night. Let's see. What is the new contract trading at? So the new contract is already trading at 69.93. That's pretty crazy. Anybody in a trade right now? I know it's really slow. No, nah, I'm not either. Nice work. Nice work, Badir. Oh, cool. Okay. Hmm. It might be a bit of a shortened session. We'll wait and see. If London corrects inventory, then we've got something to deal with. If London doesn't correct inventory, I'll let you guys go a little early. I'll let you enjoy your morning. Friday drinks. That sounds like a plan. It's only 7:30 in the morning here, but maybe in 12 hours. Sure. Yeah, Ian Dave's in Australia too, so and Sam is too, but we haven't seen Sam in a while. He's working on his deal. Ah. So if you are short against this double top, right, we're looking for 79. And then the ultimate destination trade on that would be yesterday's high. As you can see, it is really slow. Here we go. There we go. Back to the POC. It's like moving like one tick every minute. Hey, Juan, how are you? How's everybody on YouTube this morning? Oh, that's good. You're feeling better. Good to hear, Dave. Good stuff, brother. While we're waiting for this, I just want to show you. If you don't have a TPO chart, you can really use a half an hour chart quite nicely. I've been watching this half an hour chart now ever since I went back to the 21st and drew it so we could see cost basis and we could see the distribution. And I drew out these zones. You could really see how we were We just couldn't get above that 68.54 for just forever, it seemed. And then now we're above it. We looked below it a few times and failed, and now we're sort of trend up over that 68.50, 68.60 level. These white lines here are where the sellers are. So as we get up to this level here, you can see there's resistance, and we had a double top here. So you can see the double top on a half an hour candle chart before that level. Does that help you guys? Right? If you want to be able to see, if you look at a double top, you'll be able to see that that's, if you don't have TPO. And then the bottom of these areas here are where you're going to find your support bids. It's really simple. You don't need any indicators. You don't need anything to be able to understand that. That's just a nice business chart where you don't have to go and look at a million complicated things, you know? We I don't know. I'm on this mission, you know, like Robert De Niro in The Mission, right? I'm on this mission to make trading more simple, just so you guys can execute and not have to like. It's funny how this business makes you obsessed, right? You spend so much time, and we just want you to spend less time so you can spend more time with your family. So those of you who are watching on YouTube, we're at the tradingsyndicate.org. It's just tradingsyndicate.org. And our AI trading coach is aitradingcoach.org. And Steve now is doing a special where you get both for 19 bucks a month. Yeah, I'm sure your wife likes that idea, Badir. You know, go do like normal, happy human being stuff instead of sitting in front of the screen all the time. Make your money and go enjoy yourself a little bit. That's what it's all about. Nobody wants to be a slave to the monitors, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I've put in my share of 18-hour days where you're just sitting and watching and sitting and watching, you know. Okay. Well, looks like we're stuck. We got down to 80 and a half and we couldn't get any lower. Right. So let's give it another 7 minutes. If London opens and it just sticks, I'll cut the session short and we can go and enjoy our Friday. Does anybody have any questions? Anything nagging at you? No, it's pretty quiet. Even the YouTube guys are quiet. That's okay, Dave. You and me both are, Rasto. It's been that kind of market, you know. It's just a push. It's a push higher just because there's nobody wants to sell anything lower because nobody has to, right? That's the kind of market we're in. We're in this sort of slow mechanical grind higher. And the funny thing is, it's not even month end. But you know why this is happening, right? You have to have digital IDs as of next week to use YouTube. The Fed and also, right? That's good, but here, the Fed, right? So we're trying to get rid of better to get rid of inventory at higher price than a lower price. You know, we have the Fed next week, and we have contract rollover, right? Which will be the week after. Now, what if you were short? You know, what if you were short thousands and thousands of contracts? You'd kind of want to start covering those contracts before the rollover. You know, before risk events, you really want to be covering. You don't want to be exposed as we go into a Fed, as we go into a contract rollover. That's the last thing you want. Because if you get a spike, have you ever guys, well, you guys don't know, but if you've ever tried to cover size in a market where there's no liquidity, where there's no size selling, oh my God. Let me explain. You're short, say you're short 100,000 shares of a stock. Good stuff, Juan. As soon as you say, like, let's say you're short 500,000 shares of a stock. Just using a stock as an example. Okay. Say you're short and the market starts moving on you and you're trying to cover. You try to cover before the end of the month or before, you know, some sort of a corporate event, like a stock split or something. And you go to cover, you know, maybe the stock's at $5, and you're short somewhere in that level, and they start squeezing, which means they start cutting supply. You go to buy 10,000 shares at $5, they'll fill you on maybe 2,500, and then they'll move their offer up to like 510. You go to buy 10,000 shares at 510, you get 2,500. And the offer moves up. Do you understand now why I tell you guys to watch the offer? Because when the offer is moving up, that's when price is being yanked higher, right? Well, the market's created to go higher, right, Cisco? Wouldn't be very good if I said, hey, I want you to buy 1,000 shares of Microsoft today, and 10 years from now, you're going to owe 300 grand. It's not a great business model, right? People want capital appreciation, right? Sell the dream. See you, Jerry. Have a good one. Hope you feel better, brother. So that is a problem, right? That is a problem that we are facing. We have a lack of supply, and these markets just keep going higher and higher and higher. And right now, there are no customers coming into the store. It's barely trading. Look how small these candles are. If you opened up a time and sales, it would barely be moving, right? Let's do that, just so you guys can see. So the time and sales, you can use that like a speedometer. Look how slow it's trading. It trades and then it stops. And then it trades and then it stops. See that? Exactly, Michael. You had to be positioned like 2.5 hours ago, and I was sawing logs sleeping, so there was no way I was gonna be long. I mean, I was gonna be doing anything, long, short, nothing. I was asleep. All right, London opens. Let's see if the tape speeds up. Now, London, was it yesterday or the day before? It took out all the stops. Remember? So, going to do the same today. We got 5 ticks. It's dropped. Watching, watching to see if we could break 80 and a half. Come on. Here we go. There's an 80 and 3/4. Ooh, right back up to 81. So what you guys want to be watching, if you're a tape reader, you want to be watching the offer. If that offer is going higher, there's no short. Yeah. Couldn't get it to 81 and a half. Offered under 81 and a half. Let's try now. Let's see. Like, I wouldn't trade this right now. It's just too choppy. It's too slow. There's no follow through. This is the worst time for you to put money at work. If you're net short, if you're position short, you know where your risk is. It's above 85. Question is, how long do you want to sit in a trade for if you are shorting this crazy thing, right? Do you really want to sit in a trade for 3 hours? You might. Give it a couple of more minutes and, oh, jeez. Well, uh, so much for an 80 and a half print, eh? There she blows. One decent sized buy order. Yeah, exactly, Moran. Exactly. One decent sized buy order comes in and it just boom rips. Now they're going to sell into that. Let's see where they. That was the most excitement we've had. 84 sellers still there. Just not aggressive. Really slow. This is crazy slow. Well, folks, any questions? Anybody have anything they'd like to chat, ask about? We got time. No? I think we could call it a day, right, Moran? Enjoy your Friday morning a little bit. Oh, let's see. Another minute or two, see if we can take out these lows, and then we'll shut it down. I do not place trades based on time and sales at all. The reason I opened this up to was to show you the speed at which the market's trading, or in this case, how slow it's trading. uh, I'll think up some good ones, Cisco. Maybe I'll just do a session where I just do shady deal stories. Oh, there we go. I was thinking right now, if we could find a balance zone which overlaps several periods, could we give it a higher priority versus a pure structural cost basis? I don't know, Michael. What I would do if I were you is I would try and do that and then test it. That's something I haven't tested. So I can't give you an answer because I haven't done the work. Right? Once I set my balance zones, Michael, I just set them and forget them. Right? Well, I just set them and just trade them. The less work I have to do, the better. But some people, are detail people, and I encourage people. I'll never poo-poo an idea if I haven't put any work towards it. Now, these balance zones and everything I teach and talk about, it's the result of way too many hours sitting in front and testing and watching and testing and making notes. So we'll we'll work on that. Go do some work on that and let us know. I'd be curious. Mark, here we go. Every entry was turned against me. Starts as a good strong move, but dries down instantly. I look for confirmation. I miss the move. If I trade systematically, it reverses on me. Okay. What you could try doing, Mark, for example, what I teach people, especially in markets that reverse and that are choppy, is to work on your speed, your trade location, and here's the really important thing for us going forward. If you go long, like say you go long at 68.81 and a half, you know that there's a seller at 84. So map out your entries and your exits and your targets before you go into the trade. When you go into the trade, put your buy order in and your stop. As soon as that buy order gets hit, put your sell order in, right? If you have multiple contracts, put multiple contracts in. Now you let the market tell you if the trade is working. If the trade's not working, say for example, you buy 82, right? And you put your stop here at 80. And your target, you're looking for 84 and a half, but you know that there's a seller here, right? Or even if you're using a tighter stop. So you're long 82, right? Put an order out at 80, 83, 84, right? So when the market goes up, if those orders don't get executed, right? So if this order and this order and this order are there, this one gets executed, these two don't, then you know to get out of your position. Right? So instead of trading systematically, I would say trade tactically, right? I don't know if that makes sense to you. Now, if your trade location is bad, I don't know what you're doing to get into trades. Like what is your thesis for getting into a trade? What is, what are you looking for to get into a trade? What is the business reason that you're getting into that trade? Right? So if we're doing a look below and fail of 69, I'll be buying 70, 71. My stop will be under 69, and then I'd put my sell orders out. Yeah, see, I don't know how to trade that way, right? So I just use the look below and fail, right? I'm a simple guy. So what I do is when the market gets to an edge, right? And if it looks above, it goes to 88, comes back down under 83, and then does this, I will buy 84. I will put my stop under 83, and then I will sell into this strength. The business reason I take the trade is because the sell orders that took the market under 83 are now finished, right? My risk is here. So if I buy it and it comes back, I'm out, right? Then the business reason for my trade doesn't exist. The business reason is that the sell orders under 83 are done. I I in I would like to wait for the candle to close. If it's a slow enough market and I have the luxury of waiting for the candle to close, definitely. You'll always hear me say, I'll wait for the next candle and see if it holds over this level, right? Exactly. I related it to time. When you are long, say you're long at 82, you want to get your 83 and a half, 84 sell orders in because the CME has an order matching algo and it's FIFO, first in, first out. So you want to get into line. That's why people who put in their trade and then they trail their stops, that never works for them, right? Put in your trade, buy your position, and then go put your sell orders out. If your sell orders do not get executed, then you know that you have to lower your price. It's that simple. It's not at all complicated, right? I buy 5 apples for $1. I put one at, I'm selling one at a buck 50, 175, 180, 190. I sell the 150 and the 175, but the two higher apples don't sell. So what do? Knock them out at 150, 160, wherever they'll take them. Get used to getting paid. Get used to turning your inventory into cash. It will really help. And with experience, right? Exactly. If your order doesn't get filled, that gives you more information than any indicator, anybody on Twitter, right? If I buy something at 5 and I put it for sale at 550, and this will happen, right? Say I buy something at 5 and I put it on sale at 5.5, okay? And it goes to 5.5. And I see some trades at 5.5. And then I look at my execution window and I'm still long. You guys ever had that happen? Right? You have a sell order at 5.5, but it doesn't get executed. But you'll see it trade at 5.5. That means there is size ahead of you in the system. So lower your offer to 5.25. Does that make sense? And get out of the position because there is somebody who is selling ahead of you. Does that make sense? It's the simplest thing in the world. Raj and I are selling apples, right? I'm selling apples for a buck 50. He comes down and opens up his stand and goes, I'm going to sell them at $1.45. Well, I got to price compete with him, or otherwise everyone's going to buy their apples from him. Something to consider. It's the easiest, most simple concept in trading that nobody ever talks about. Front running, exactly, Alexander. Nobody talks about it. They always talk about moving your stop or RR, risk reward and all this nonsense. But here's the simple fact, right? It's important for any kind of trade, whether it's a scalp or a position trade, because if you're not on the offer and if you're not getting taken, that means somebody is selling in front of you and you are going to be holding a big pile of poop while everybody else is counting their money. Right? Position trading, swing trading, you got to use your every large trader gets information back from the market, not from what they see on a chart, but the way their orders are trading in the system. That is true trading. Right? Exactly, Cisco. Don't be an idiot waiting for a tick. Sell it. Right? The problem with a lot of retail trading educators are that they give people these lofty, fanciful ideas, but no basis in reality, right? Their trading is not grounded in reality. It's grounded in fantasy, right? It has to be grounded in reality. And the way it's grounded in reality is that you use your sell orders to tell you whether or not somebody wants to buy your crap. Now, when you're short, you use your buy orders to tell you whether or not there's supply. So if I'm short, like if I was short, remember if we were short 83, right? And you put orders down here and you're not getting filled, move your buy order up. It's really that simple. Okay? Ooh. And that's pretty much it for this this session, folks. I'm going to let you guys go a little bit early. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you. We'll see you, the rest of you, we'll see at 9 o'clock for our morning session, for our pre-market RT8 session. Right. Now, size doesn't move you ahead of the line in the CME technically, but I will tell you as a size trader, you do have an advantage. But you guys don't really need to get into that for now. Just trade your setup. Be safe. Watch your risk. Have a very, very good long weekend. Not long weekend. I was just wishing. Have a great weekend. And we'll see the rest of you on Monday if you don't join us at 9 o'clock. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.